Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts and to the British campaign where the Chinese have agreed to a peace deal, even though I was trying to close the game before that. Ooh, yes, we'll take Nepal, please. Oh, of course you're going to say no. Oh, that's because I insta-blockaded them. Right, okay, that makes sense. Okay, well, I'll load up this battle and I'll see you there in a moment. Okay, the Krathis Castle has found the Notaro. Sure, we can deal with him, no problem. Excuse me while I sort this out. T19, go home. Nimrod, I don't know, just follow today. Not feeling like rushing in and getting you damaged for no reason. They're turning to the kind of east. We shall follow suit. Bonk. Main deck pen. Another main deck pen. Very nice. Miss. Miss again. Just a little bit unlucky on the rolls there. Bonk. Triple bonk. About 20 kilometers out. So I'm not expecting crazy pens. There we go. Really a main gun pen. That a turret out of action? Might be. They've just gotten a little bit closer. Now we're really hurting them. Now they're running. I think. Oh, maybe not. Torpedo. Ah, it's a mess. Nah, they're running. But not with that flooding, you're not. Not going anywhere. Ow. Pulling a magic hit out of their arse. Two of them. Have they got inverted hit chance by any chance? Feels like it. That does happen sometimes. They bloody do, don't they? They've inverted their hit chance. Now they're scoring 1,000,000 hits all of a sudden. What the fuck are you doing? No. That was a good response. There we go, sunk. It's just look at that! Oh my word. It does more damage when it's sinking than it did when it was afloat. Yeah, that's going past 0% chance to hit and becoming amazing all of a sudden. Right, back to the map. Alright, looks like the Japanese are trying to interfere with the invasion operation, and they run into the Duke of Kent's task force, which comprises of quite a lot of ships, and they don't have very much, so... a last-ditch attempt, I guess? I guess they're just, like, grouping together whatever they have, but... I mean, if Japan had just kept those battle cruisers that they've been building so many of, and concentrated them, they just let us take them out bit by bit. Go that way. Leave. Yeah. It's quite the fleet we put together here, though. All sorts of ships. This poor old battlecruiser. Oh, Duke of Kent hits the funnel. Ryan, main deck bent. Very nice. It's just target practice, isn't it? Hal with a pretty nasty hit there. Oh, Nelson showing off. Oh! Tamara, that was a good hit. And Nelson gets the finishing shot. Oh my word. Not a good day to be a sailor in the Japanese Navy, although, Is there a good day to be a sailor in the Japanese Navy in this timeline? Probably not. Ajax. Oh my word. Duke of Kent. Probably with the kill shot there. Well, there were several pretty nasty ones. Stray hits there. Oh, Marlborough. Nice shot. Goes the smoke. Anson picks one off. Oh, hello. Here come the inevitable torpedoes. Was that Marlborough again? Nice. Oh, that Royal George. It's a huge hit. There's another huge hit in there from Hal. Yeah, another one sinks. Royal George smashing the bridge of that one. Oh, that was a cute move. I think we'll sink them all before those torpedoes get there. See what Rodney's dodging skills are like. Yeah, all sunk. And Rodney gliding through the gap. Lovely. Right, who did the most damage? Duke of Kent, I think. Yep. Another lone battlecruiser. I think we should be able to deal with them as well. There we go. It's not quite close to each other. T4, you're out. Immediate hits. Ooh, they're going to hit back. Overpen though. Again, overpen. Ooh, very nice. Bit of flooding. flooding. Oh, that was savage. My word. Haven't gone through into their citadel yet, but still taken quite a few hits. Main belt pen. Yeah, that's not good for you. And now they're turning away. Nice try with the torpedo. Oh, hello. Cartoon, you are headed for a torpedo. There you go. Down they go. Ooh. No, thank you. Oh, 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 oh. That's gotta hurt. And that's gonna hurt more. Well, there we go. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay, back to the map. Next, we've got a few light cruisers that, again, just kind of wandered into the naval invasion zone. The naval invasion will go off, and we will find out whether it succeeds or not before the end of the game, which is a significant concern because we're now in May. But I won't have time to do a repeat or an invasion of anywhere else, so I'm just going to distribute the ships back to ports in the area. Whether it succeeds or not, we'll put all the ships back home, basically. I've got 2 castles, okay. And yeah, we are definitely coming to the end. There's no war with France or America, sadly. Would have been interesting to see how that worked out, but they're not playing ball. Actually, you lot, just follow. We'll let them come to us. No need to have the destroyer crews take unnecessary damage. Oh my word. What a shot by the Tintagel. 23 kilometers out, nails a light cruiser. Let's get one that is capable of full speed, if we can. Oh, one of those might be hit. Boom. Tintagel again. Both of them flooded. They will now slow down, allowing us to take them apart. One down, one to go. And there we go. Lovely stuff. Right. Back to that, I guess. Pile in! Okay, France. Sure. We're going to just throw in our lot. Okay, they push back those. How many months have we got left? 1. Okay, so we'll find out next turn if that goes off. 53%. So it's a toss-up. And yeah, after that, I'm going to put all the ships. We've got loads of port capacity here in Chempulo and Nampo. And some other ports there's quite a lot in Hong Kong. There's quite a lot in Naha as well. We can distribute the ships around. No problem. Right, I'm going to end the turn, and we're going to see if that invasion is successful or not. Welcome back, and I think we did it. I think we did it. Looks like the flags have changed and the colour has changed. We've got a splat to do. How that was a draw, I have no idea. And we've got a cruiser to destroy, but I think we may have succeeded on that invasion, which is really nice. Yes, I know we haven't liberated all of Korea, but getting Port Arthur is a not insignificant victory. Just batter this light cruiser into submission. Assuming it wants to be battered. Hey! Got him. Yeah, we did it. We've taken... Well, it's not Manchuria, but the Liaodong Peninsula. Wow. Okay. Cool. Well, there's quite a lot of tonnage in Port Arthur. Okay, so we've got these guys. We'll pop you in Port Arthur. What have we got here? This is the Vanguard. We'll pop you down here. And then this is a mixture of stuff. So, Duke of Kent, Anson, Howe, Nelson, Rodney, Leeds, Rapid, Rodney, and Rose. You can stay here. And, oh, of course, I can't. Next turn, I'll move the rest back to where they belong, which is down here in Singapore. This is the Singapore Squadron. Right, well, I'm going to end the turn and be back with you in a moment. What does Japan even have left? Oh, they've had another revolution by the looks of it, or a change in government at least. 7 light cruisers, 9 submarines, and they're building 25 ships. Okay, cool. Well, I'll end the turn, and we'll see what happens. Well, it's now August, and we have a very small little convoy escorted by a light cruiser. A couple of destroyers have picked them up. Some of the ships that were a part of the invasion fleet have needed repairs. Either they bumped into a mine or they picked up a scratch from a shell at some point. So if you see ships repairing, that is why. Actually, yeah, you can stay in abreast if you really want. Let's go! There go the torps. More torps. And they surrendered. And now you are mine, little transport. The last little transport. And done. Good work by those two destroyers. Exemplary. Right, let's head back to the map. Alright, it's now October, and we have an exception to the rule. So, this is, not 9 times out of 10, when I see an ambush, I will refuse to do it. But this is not really an ambush. This is a bunch of destroyers against a bunch of light cruisers. So, yes, certainly we can do that. Japan has desperately been trying to make peace. So given that it's so close to the end of the game, I have clicked agree. And we shall see if they agree to that or not. They probably should. But whether they will or not, I don't know. Ow. Remarkably good gunnery on the royalist there. Let's smoke up her group. Here come the torps. Well, where are those being fired? That's straight. Weird. That's the other squadron I think they're aiming for. Hard to tell sometimes. Smiter, get your arse in gear. Right, there we go. Right. Ow. Torpedo. Aim for the middle one. There we go. Now retreat. Oh, that's a hit. Very nice. The she took a big hit. Oh, would you look at that? Hitting with a torpedo. Will wonders never cease? Right, you lot. You've got a pretty good shot there. Yeah, dump your torpedoes now, please. If you can. Oh, another hit. All 3 light cruisers taking at least some damage. One surrenders. Very good. Torpedo debt, also very good. Second one surrenders. Third one surrenders. Well, can't ask for better than that. Torpedo hits and 3 surrendering ships. Beautiful. Right, I'm going to head back to the map, but there's nothing else this turn. We might get peace next turn, so let's see. Here we are. Peace. Could have places any to stop, I guess. Can't even ask for that, despite sinking all that stuff. Yeah, they've only got light cruisers left. 1.7 billion even. Jeez. Bulkhead protection, torpedo propulsion, communications, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, that's sad. I think Finland just signed a thing with me and then they go and get eaten. Sad end. Right. So, there we go. That is pretty much the end of the campaign. I'm going to zoom right out. Britain has done pretty well, I would say. We have not, painted the map red or anything like that, but we've expanded our colonial holdings, especially in Africa. And we have maintained the security of the empire despite quite a lot of warfare over the course of the game. In terms of how the country is looking, we have a naval prestige of 6,718, which is ludicrously high. 133 total provinces, which is pretty cool. Our GDP is ridiculous at 8 billion. And we have, well, it says 49 battleships, but some are being repaired. So we actually have 50, which is a huge number. 50 battleships, 27 battle cruisers, 58 light heavy cruisers, 62 lights, and 152 destroyers, because one of them is currently undergoing repairs. France likes us. United States likes us. Even Austria likes us. Spain likes us. We've pretty much destroyed Italy, Japan, and China repeatedly. It's really only Russia that would pose any sort of threat to us in the future. So I think a convincing first place. Looking at the other countries, the United States has a reasonable fleet, particularly in tonnage terms. But we've been solid allies the whole time. Russia, our most likely enemy. I was really disappointed when they got into that late war They had some really interesting ships, and they just pieced out, and there was nothing I could do about it. Italy has been pretty badly hurt, losing Sicily and pretty much all of their Mediterranean possessions, apart from mainland Italy. Spain, still hanging on in there. They've lost their colonial empire, but, you know, mainland Spain is still a thing, so they survived. Good for them. If you've seen the video on the Spanish succession campaign, that's not always a given. Spain is quite a difficult country to play. Japan, we've been smashing Japan repeatedly. Taken off nearly all of their empire, aside from one province in Korea. And they've been smashed again and again and again. They've really suffered. China has been virtually destroyed by everybody. So that's unfortunate. France still has a fleet, very je ne sais focused. They haven't really expanded that much. I mean, they have in South America a bit. But other than that, they've been pretty quiet, the French. It was nice to get to use one of their battle cruisers, which was actually pretty good. The Liberté. Austria-Hungary. I don't know what to say about Austria-Hungary, because their GDP is god-awful. And their fleet is god-awful. And we smashed them repeatedly. But they have basically absorbed Germany. And they have also now, I believe, become a centre-party democracy and are now on very good terms with us and are fighting against the Russians. So, very strange, but we probably, if the game continued and they were against us, we would be able to take them out with a naval invasion of Croatia and get them to collapse, possibly, in a prolonged war. But pretty pleased with that. Russia has really blobbed up, though. Which is why, again, another reason I was so annoyed that they pieced out so quickly. Because I would have liked to have tried to take back all this stuff off them. But nevertheless, very happy with how the campaign has gone. But the styles of the show, of course, are not. It's not the map. It's not all this numbers and rubbish. It's not the research, which I didn't complete everything, but I completed quite a few of the categories, which is pretty decent. It's obviously the ships, which are going to take a million years to load up. I will leave, because I don't know off the top of my head which ship is the most decorated, but I do want to chat through some of the ships that I'm most impressed with. Least impressed with is the T-Class ASW ship. Yeah, they did a job, but I really wasn't a big fan of them. Then we have the various destroyers. A-Class still in service, which is mind-boggling to me. The A's and B's were really good when we first had them. They're still in service, still doing good work. C-Class, again, nice little ship. I think that my favourite of the destroyers, though, probably the D-Class. 1916 these things were built. And even now, in pretty much 1950, these things are still good. Just a really nice quality little design. Not too big. 8 5-inch guns. A torpedo launcher. How many torpedoes did they... Yeah, quad torpedo, 21-inch torpedo tube. They're reasonably fast. Great little ship. Absolutely love these things. Then we had the E's, the F's, and the G's. They were all kind of improvements. The HIJs, they were pretty nice. And they kind of spawned the P-Class Special Edition, like the Pingu. These two are very similar. Then we had the KLMs with the ludicrous firepower. The NOPQs also with ludicrous firepower. And then the R and the S, which are really nice, but just the ballooning of cost. I think the R, I really like the R as a kind of modern destroyer, aside from the bloated nature of it. I think they're pretty cool, but I think they are... I think the HIJ does the same job for less. So, yeah, they just get really bloated, the late game hulls. And then the S-Class, which, again, did very well. So, pretty happy with the destroyers overall. Like cruisers, started off with the Tribunes, which, in their refitted version, at any rate, are still not terrible. We haven't seen one in combat for a while, but they weren't great to start with. They're not great now, but they're still around, which is impressive. Interceptors, surprisingly good ship. Again, we haven't seen one for a while, but did their job. The Myrtles, which I actually really liked their initial version, the refit version with the weird guns. Not so much, but a very successful little class. The Retributions... I don't know. The Retributions, Oh, wait, the 48 version. Wait, is there one that's... Yeah, the Salamander. I don't know why you're not on the top end one. Right, we'll fix that. It's going to annoy me. Retribution 36 delete. There we go. So then we had... Yeah, so then we had the Myrtles. And then we had the Rivers. Not the Retributions. Then we had the River class. Which, again, are okay. They did a good job. For what they are. And then we had the Retributions, which just this hull is weirdly proportioned to me. Like the guns are tiny, but I didn't really feel any of the light cruisers. Even the export class was actually pretty decent, even though I thought it was way overcosted. Just the UK really doesn't get a super cool light cruiser hull. Probably not my favourite kind of category of ship, but they did okay. Heavy cruisers, we had the Argonauts, which, again, still in service. Slow, not very good, but they did their job, and, they passed the torch on to the Counties, which in their 11-inch iteration were absolutely murderous. But the 9-inch ones are fine. We just haven't seen them in combat very much. Then the Cities, which were very successful class, really surprisingly tough. And you think that Glasgow's had more than one very close run-in with being sunk, but keeps coming back. Plenty of firepower. Really like those. The Hawkins are actually insanely good. The Achilles proved that. Really nasty ship. Basically what the Counties were like when they were first built. Really nasty. And then we have the Thunderchild, which actually did pretty well. I was pretty pleased with them. As a pure export ship, they did really, really well. No, really pleased with those as well. Right, let's get into the big boys. So, we started off with battle cruisers. Anyway, we started off with the Indefatigables, which, yeah, built in 1906, and they were still kicking ass in 1946. Great little ship. Maybe a little underpowered nowadays. A little bit slow for a battle cruiser, but yeah, really, really got a lot of use out of those. The Tigers, which are basically superior ones, superior Indefatigables. Again, really nice little ship. They've seen a lot of action and did really, really well. Renowns, pretty nasty. And they again, really pleased with that design. And the same for the Courageous class, which, I mean, Renowns and Courageous, when they first appeared, did a lot of damage. Really nothing the AI had when these ships came out could match, particularly the Courageous. 30 knots, 6 15-inch guns in 1914. Just impossible for the AI to deal with, which is a little bit mean. Then we had the Admiral class in 3 blocks, which is an interesting way of, although it's like 12 years between the block 2 and the block 3. I thought this hull was going to unlock way sooner. But the block 1s, which was Anson and Howe, they did really well. Really pleased with those. But this is kind of a compromise design. And the block 2s, which was Rodney and Nelson, absolutely superb ships. 32 knots, 8 16-inch guns, and battleship grade armor. Just such a nice ship. Absolutely dominated in the Pacific when we sent them over there. Really, really pleased with those. The block 3s, Hood and Pellew, we didn't see much of them, but they're nasty. Even nastier than the block 2s. Really like those as well. And then, of course, we had the Incomparables, which was Incomparable and Cornwallis. And they never really got a chance to show what they could do because, you know, they kept showing up against, you know, a light cruiser or something. But I have no reason to believe that these things would not have completely dominated if they'd had some opponents to go against really, really nasty things. And then, of course, we had the Castle class, which, for a late game ship, I wasn't expecting them to get a lot of action, but they really, really did. Supremely good cruiser killers. And surprisingly effective against enemy battle cruisers as well, which is not what I designed them to do. They were supposed to be a bit like an Alaska class type design with the smaller battleship, old kind of battleship guns, which weighs the 13.5-inch. Repurposed as a cruiser killer, but yeah, they proved very effective. They did a really good job. I'm impressed with them. Right, battleships. Right, we start off with the Dominions. Now, the Dominions, surprisingly enough, were in action. We did lose one, the Dominion herself, which is a shame. But overall, I think the class did really well. Even when they got into scrapes that they really shouldn't. Very useful as a kind of invasion ship. And then, yeah, they were eclipsed very quickly, but surprisingly useful ship. Then we have the Dreadnought, which, yeah, it's Dreadnought. What more is there to say about it? In a refitted mode, still perfectly capable. She's chilling out in Portsmouth. Then we moved on to the Bellerophons, which I really liked. This is a really nice class with the 12-inch guns, ABXY duels, just solid overall. Then we got the Orions, which were not in this configuration originally. They had ABXY duels. The refitted version with the triples is a little bit weird, but when they first came out, these things were really nasty. Super Dreadnoughts, very, very pleased with how they performed. Even late game, they were still fighting really well. Royal Georges, again, the refitted version, it's actually it's cooler than the Orion refit with the 3 triples, but originally they had, I think it was ABQXY. Loss of firepower, again, pretty happy with those for an early kind of Super Dreadnought. And then we had the Iron Dukes, the last Super Dreadnought, which are in that original configuration, which is pretty cool. Yeah, great ship, just slow. And by 1910, when we were starting to get ships like, was Renown's out in 1910? No, but they're only 2 years away. Just never really got a chance to shine. But I think they were solid battle line ship. And then, of course, we had the jump to the Queen Elizabeths, which very nasty. They didn't get to see too much combat because there was a bit of a lull. But Warspite, Just definitely lived up to her name. Yeah, really solid class. Same with the Revenge, which is just a slightly improved version. Really solid. Did good work for us for ages. I'm going to come back to the L2s. And then the Battle class, which is kind of an evolution of the Revenge. Really nice ship. And originally they had the 10 guns, A, B, X, Y, Z. And then when I refitted them, they ended up with the 3... I don't think we ever saw the refits in combat. The 4 triple 15-inch guns, which, yeah, really solid ship, but we didn't get to see much of. And the same is true of the L2s. We didn't get to see too much of them. Really left field ship. 29 knots, although I don't think they could do that originally, but 29 knots, 18-inch guns in 1915 just made all of our other battleships look pathetic for years and years and years and years. Really nasty design, especially paired with the Courageous class. Those two ships together. I mean, the L2s compared to the Courageous are almost as fast and carry ludicrous firepower. Really nasty ships. They basically had no opponents. they didn't have anything to fight. And then there was a bit of a break. You can see it actually. If I go by year, or I'll order it by year in a minute, but you know, we had the battles in 1924 and the KG5s in 1927, but nearly a 10-year gap for building battleships. And then we have the KG5s, or my take on them. Very successful ship, Duke of Kent in particular, out in the Pacific. Again, just absolutely obliterating anything she came across. Very, very nice set of ships. And the Lions, which are an evolved version. Same deal, really. They were really effective when they showed up. Again, they never really had a peer opponent to go up against. And that is even more true of the Vanguards, which showed up a little bit towards the end and basically obliterated anything they came against. Just 32 knots, 9 20-inch guns. What can you say? But very, very pleased with all those ships. Here they are in year order. If you want to see the order in which they were built, which I think is quite interesting, because this is the original year, not the refit year. The game maintains the kind of base year. But I'm really pleased with the designs from this campaign. I didn't set out to do strictly historical designs, but there's some really fun designs in there. Some really cool ships. Yeah, I've enjoyed all of these designs. All of them are really fun, interesting, powerful, good-looking in the most part, apart from the T-Class, which is a necessity, because building ships really late game, don't do it, because they just get the repeatable text screw you over. But much better to build ships as early as you can. In terms of the fleet, if you want to see the fleet screen, you can slow the video down. But if we go by class, and in here, you can see every single ship in the entire fleet. I'll try and put the thing here, because that's, there you go. Every single ship, all the Lions, all the Orions, all the battleships here. Revenges, the Royal Georges, the Vanguards, and so if you're curious where they are, or what they're doing, or how they are, if they're still in the campaign, you can have a look through this list if you are so inclined. It's a real shame that the game doesn't track. Oh, we're still building some stuff for Greece. It's a real shame the game doesn't track like number of battles or sunk ships or things like that. But I'm sure if you check the comments, you will find some of that information, at the very least. Let me know down in the comments what has been your favourite ship in the campaign so far. Either class or, individual ship. Which one has been your favourite? Which one would you love to see again if the game went past 1950? Which, unfortunately, it doesn't. Because, I think we could keep playing this. No problem. We're down into the destroyers now. And some ships I don't think have seen a single battle. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's a fair chunk of them that have never seen a battle. And then we're down to the T-class, which no one cares about. Right. Well, I'm not going to end the episode here, actually. I'm going to go and click through the last couple of turns so that I can get to the retirement screen and see if we get any interesting information about that. I'm also going to order the Krathis Castle and the Elandon back to port. And, I'll probably see you for the retirement screen. Here we are. Retirement. Yes, victory. Well, a victory of a sort. I have been Admiral of the fleet for 40 years, which is, I think, more than enough. Yes, retirement indeed. Let's see if we get... Oh, has it actually done this screen right? Wars fought versus France? None. Okay. Versus Germany? Okay, it has. It's actually worked. Okay, cool. So, our losses, I think, was, one battleship, a few cruisers, and some destroyers. Germany, 15 battleships, 6 battlecruisers, 28 heavies, 68 lights, 32 destroyers, and 8 torpedo boats, for a total of just under 1.5 million tons of shipping. Very nice. United States, we had no wars with the United States. Russia, we sank 6 battleships, a battlecruiser, 35 heavies, 8 lights, 25 destroyers, for just over 1 million tons. Versus Italy, oh my god, 30 battleships, 9 battlecruisers, 18 heavy cruisers, 139 light cruisers, 71 destroyers, and a torpedo boat for 3.489 million tons of shipping. Ouch. Against Austria-Hungary. Well, that's more than I was expecting, actually. 15 battleships, 13 heavy cruisers, 10 light cruisers, 18 destroyers, 2 torpedo boats, just over 1 million tons of ships. I'm going to come back to Japan. Against Spain, we did have a war against Spain. 5 battleships, 7 battlecruisers, 45 heavies, 21 lights, 32 destroyers for 1.1-ish million tons. And against 21 battleships, 20 battlecruisers, 85 heavies, 16 lights, 93 destroyers for 2.4 million tons. And against Japan, 1 battleship. They only built one battleship. That's insane. Should have built more battleships, Japan. 83 battle cruisers, 59 heavy cruisers, 115 light cruisers, and 30 destroyers for 5.3, 4-ish million tons of ship. That is an awful lot of ships sunk. 15, 45, call it 50, 60, 70, nearly 100 battleships. We sunk nearly 100 battleships. Holy crap. And nearly and 100 over 100 battle cruisers. Damn, 200 capital ships sunk by the Royal Navy in 40 years. That is insane. We only built 5 5.7 million tons of ship, which is, pretty reasonable, especially because we didn't throw any of this away. Normally, when you see this statistic at the end of the game, so you'll build a ship and then you'll scrap it and then you'll build another one to replace it. But we didn't do any of that because this is pretty much our final fleet as well. So yeah, we built 5.7 million tons of ships and we sank. Oh, tell me down here. Sank 13.8 million tons. That's pretty good. That's more than we sank more than twice what we built. That's pretty good considering we only lost 177,000 tons of shipping. One battleship, that was the HMS Dominion. 4 heavy cruisers, including armoured cruisers. 8 light cruisers, including the protected cruisers. And 19 destroyers. That is very modest. That's a very modest amount of losses. And yeah, total enemy kill. That's 73. How did you get to 73? Am I just not adding that up right? Anyway, 73 battleships, 119 battle cruisers, 225 heavies, 346 light cruisers, 251 destroyers, and 9 torpedo boats. Submarines apparently don't count, because we did sink a few of those. Crew loss, us, 13,500. Brave sailors of the Royal Navy. Very sad. Enemy, and for naval losses, this is ridiculous. 784,854. Ouch. That's a pretty good kill-loss ratio there. And transports lost, us, 332. That was all in off-screen, you lose a transport. Pop-ups, I don't think any of that was actual convoy battles. Enemy, 6,401. Well, I'm very, very pleased with how the campaign has gone. I am extremely looking forward to the German campaign, which will be coming up soon. You're going to exit. The Spanish Succession campaign, you will see a slightly different kind of video from me with those. But I hope you have enjoyed the British campaign. I know I have. Hopefully I'll see you, tomorrow from your point of view for the start of the German campaign. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you again soon for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.